Good morning. Pag-usapan natin ngayon itong accessions, no? We're still under ocular inspection, wherein pagbisita mo dun sa property that you intend to buy, meron ka nakitang mga accessions. Now, what are these accessions and what are the things that you should know before buying property na merong accession? Let us start. Now, if this is the property that you are going to purchase, kita natin, kompleto po, no? With all the accessions like mayroong TV, may ref, may bedroom, mayroong mga kama, meron din siyang barn, meron siyang mga animals, goat, cow, chicken. So this means that what you're buying is a homestead lot. And the question is, what are those included when you buy this property? So, before you buy this property, you have to consider checking and talking to the owner of that property and discuss what are not included in the sale. So, yun po ang dapat nating pag-usapan. Kausapin po ninyo kung ano yung mga personal properties na included pag bilihin ninyo yung property or yung land na yon. Kasama ba ang rep? Kasama ba ang TV? Kasama ba ang bed? Kasama ba ang mga accessions na nasa loob doon? Mga animals, barn, are those included? Because there are some sellers that would say na package po ito lahat kasi alis na kami, papunta na kaming Hawaii and we want to sell everything na to you. So, take all, parang ganun. Now, you have to understand that you have to know from them ano talaga yung pwedeng ibenta. Kasi may mga iba kasing mga seller that they do not intend other properties to be part of the sale transaction. Like, for example, they would say, yung maliit na bahay dyan, parang tindahan dyan, hindi yan kasali dahil gigibain namin, kukunin namin yung mga kahoy at saka kukunin namin yung yero dahil gagamitin namin in other places. So at least, klaro po, malagay po ninyo sa contract na what are those things na included at ano yung things na hindi included sa sale ng land or ng immovable property. So magkakaroon po kayo ng inventaryo, ano po yung pwedeng bilihin at hindi pwedeng bilihin. Ano ba yung mga immovable properties na kasali? Kasi merong mga immovable properties na it seems na hindi siya immovable or personal property siya, katulad ng tangke ng tubig na may pump. Kung iisipin, para siyang personal property that can be removed in order that hindi siya kasali sa sale. However, if we analyze, it actually forms part of the land as an accession kasi nga, it was built there with a sense of permanency. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya pwede tanggalin. That is an immovable property. But of course, you could agree kung sabihin ng seller, hindi ko lang ito isali itong pump at saka itong tangke because I will be using this. And if you agree, no problem because that is not contrary to law, morals, or public policy na mag-agree kayo kung ano yung pwede ninyong isali sa sale transaction. Now, kapag wala po kayong pinag-usapan, mahirap yon. So that you have to know the civil code provisions on accession. Ano yung mga immovable and movable properties. Ganito po yan. Sometimes, meron tayong deed of sale. No? So, ito yung lower portion or the last portion. No? So, yung parties nandun sa taas, tapos yung description ng properties, nandoon na kung ano yung ibebenta na lupa at saka, let's say, that house and lot, no? Or homestead lot or farm lot. So, sinabi dito, sa deed of sale, sa lower portion, now, therefore, for its consideration of sum of 3,600,000 pesos, receipt of which in full is hereby acknowledged by the vendor, yung nagbenta. The vendor herein has sold, transferred, and conveyed absolutely unto the vendee, yung buyer, his heirs, successors, and assigned, the above-mentioned parcel of land, yung nasa taas na na-describe nila, with all the improvements found therein. Ganun lang na pag-usapan nyo. Wala nyo na-itemize kung ano yung included noon. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng improvements na nando doon, kasali yun. Except, of course, yung personal properties na pwedeng tanggalin na hindi makasira sa real property na bibilihin. Yan po siya. So, how would we know if these properties are considered as an improvement that is necessarily attached to the land or not, na pwedeng dalhin ng seller or hindi? So, we have to know some provisions of the civil code in order that we will be able to determine later and discuss with the seller na hindi po pwede yan isama ninyo na dalhin because that's part as an accession of the land that I am buying. Alright. Now, ito pong right of accession, karapatan po ito ng isang may-ari sa mga bagay na what is included in the land, which is you own those properties that are produced therein. Everything produced in that property that is yours, and everything incorporated or attached to that land is also yours. Now, with respect dito sa everything produced, no, we have those natural fruits. When we say fruits, these are produced, no? And when we say natural fruits, these are those plants that grow spontaneously without any human intervention. Ang maisip ko kasi na example is itong malunggay. Kahit saan na po ito tumutubo, kahit na hindi tanim, no? Meron pang isa, yung siling labuyo. Bigla lang magkaroon ng siling labuyo sa bakuran nyo, hindi naman kayo nagtanim. These are natural fruits, and that is included in the land, and therefore, as an accession, and when you buy that property, it should necessarily include that. Okay, meron din po tayong industrial fruits, no? Those planted, like palay, because these are plants but made or planted with human intervention. So, nag-grow siya because of human intervention. In that case, this is also an accession and part of the land. So, if you buy this rice field, it will necessarily include everything there, including the palays that were planted and even the fertilizers that were thrown there. So, that is part of the land. That is an accession. Another one is itong civil fruits. Now, when we talk about civil fruits, ito po yung rent. So, when you buy a property na may tenant, may nagre-renta, gaya ng discussion natin last time, is kasama po ang tenant na maging inyo na as a landlord. Not necessarily that the tenant itself, himself or herself, but the rent, no? Ikaw na may right mag-collect ng rent. Kaya nga, the moment you sold that property, there's a new owner, stop na yung ownership ng previous owner, and you now be the one to get the rent. And kaya nga sabi ko, you have to get also the security deposit plus yung advance payment, no? Kasi because at the end of the contract, ibibigay nga natin yan. So, yan, you will now be entitled to what we call the civil fruits in form of rent. Yan po ang ibig sabihin yan. Ngayon, those incorporated or attached, like naturally, like itong kahoy, let's say you have a very big mahogany, acacia, or nara and everything, molave. Tapos gusto putulin ng seller kasi sabi niya, dadaling ko ito, gagawin kong lumber at para itayo ko sa bahay ko. No, you cannot do that because that is part of the land. Unless, of course, there was a previous agreement to the contrary. Gaya na explanation ko. Pag wala, hindi niya pwedeng tanggalin yan because that is part of the land. Also, yung artificially incorporated or attached like this house, that's part of land. So whenever the land goes, the house will follow because it is actually an accession. It's an immovable property. At yung example ko na tangke, yung best tank, kasama yan siya. It was incorporated or attached artificially there by human hands or intervention. So yun po ang ibig sabihin ditong right of accession. Now, under the Civil Code po, ni-define ang immovable properties under Article 415. Now, how is it defined? Is that it was actually enumerated. So, it was a definition through enumeration. So, enumerate niya. So, I will cite some enumerated, no, yung most important things na usually we transact every day and we deal when we purchase a property. Number one is itong land, building, roads, and constructions of all kinds adhered to the soil. Sinabi po dito, adhered to the soil. So, pag example nito yun sa picture is merong mound, no? Or may hill of land, and sabi nung seller, sandali, tapos na tayo ng transaction, kukunin ko ito dahil itatamba ko itong lupa na ito doon sa akin. No, you cannot do that because that is adhered to the soil. That's part of the land and it is considered as an immovable property, just like this house also. Alright? Now, meron pa isa. Itong trees, plants, and growing fruits while they are attached to the land or form an integral part of an immovable. So, pati yung tanim, pati mga plants na dahil plantita siguro nagbenta, hindi pwede tanggalin. I have a case before wherein my client purchased a farm lot na merong red palm, no? So, yung mga plantita dito, naiintindihan ang ibig ko sabihin. Itong red palm, very sensitive. Ito, hindi mo pwede basta-basta kunin kasi pag kunin mo, bunutin mo, mamamatay ito. So, what happened was that ang ginawa ng seller, sabi niya, okay, tapos na yung transaction, I will be removing this one. Magkuha lang ako ng gardener. Sabi naman nung buyer, no, I do not want you to remove that. Kaya nga, binili ko itong farm lot na ito because one of the reasons is yung red palm na napakaganda. It will destroy the beauty of the place if you remove that. So, medyo nagtalo sila. Sabi ko, wait, sandali po. Pagkita ako, sabi ko, hindi matuloy ang transaction ito. Sabi ko, sige, ganito po, ma'am, kasi sa under the law po, that is an integral part of an immovable, no? So, yung pong tanim na yan, yung red palm, you cannot remove that. Parang medyo nagkalit yung seller, biased daw. Kasi no. That's true. Because that is part, yun ang sinasabi ng batas. However, meron pa akong isang consideration, ma'am. When you remove that, it will naturally die. Definitely die. Kasi yung red palm po, very sensitive yan, kahit mag-research po kayo. So, if you want, meron namang medyo nakausli dyan ng mga baby red plants, baka pwede mo hingiin yan. And try mo itanim, baka tumubo. Mabuti na ayos ko and they were able to consummate the transaction. No? So, yun po, minsan konteng talo lang. Tapos, actually, it's not the issue of the property. But yung pride ba, pag once nasimulan na, mag-sink in dun sa either one of them, either seller or buyer, sometimes hindi natutuloy ang transaction because of that. Okay? So, sabi nga dito, form an integral part of an immovable. How about this? This is a plant na nasa paso. Well, you could move the paso. So, it's not an integral part of an immovable. So, therefore, the seller can bring this home hindi kasama sa bentahan. Yun po ibig sabihin. So, like for example, yung kotse, mamove naman yan. Hindi yan siya kasali. So, yun ang ibig sabihin. Hindi siya integral part of an immovable. Okay? Now, what else? Under the Civil Code, still on immovable property, ito pong everything attached to an immovable in a fixed manner that it cannot be separated without breaking the material or deterioration of the object. So, marami po yun. Yung pan. Pag mayroong pan, hindi mo pwede i-destroy. Kaya pag i-destroy, kunin mo, madi-destroy. Kung meron yung, sabi ko nga, yung best tank, yung mayroong tower doon na may tangke sa taas. The moment you do that, it will destroy. Wala nang supply ng tubig, tapos ma-destroy yung surface, etc. Hindi pwede. Pero merong nakakatuwa na mga instances na gustong ng seller, tanggalin yung tiles. Dahil sabi niya, bago pa itong kabit, matanggal ko pa ito, malagay ko pa ito sa kabila. Or kung hindi man, magawin ko itong crazy cuts. We cannot do that because that is actually included in the land, the property that is going to be purchased by the buyer, and it is attached wherein in a fixed manner that it cannot be separated without breaking the material or deterioration of the object or the house, no? May iba, gusto na tanggalin pating doorknob kasi doorknob galing pa daw sa US. Galing sa Europe, magandang klase, wala na daw dito sa Pilipinas. You cannot do that because that is part. Worst, may iba pa, gusto pa nila, aside sa doorknob, yung door mismo, isama nila. No, that is part that is attached to an immovable wherein in a fixed manner that it cannot be separated without, of course, destroying the object of the sale transaction. So, yun po yan. Okay, meron pa. Ito. Statues, paintings, or other objects for use or ornamentation. Placed in buildings or on lands by the owner of the immovable that it reveals the intention to attach permanently. Ito like for example, itong mga lions, no? Sa harap laban. Yan ang mga old, even sa Europe, marami pang ganyan, no? Meron silang mga animals na na-carve, tapos nakalagay dyan. You cannot remove that. That shows the intention there to put there is to attach it permanently. Ito naman, itong painting ni Malang, courtesy of Rappler pala itong picture na ito. Now, even you put a painting there of Malang, one may argue that it was there placed with the intention to attach it permanently. The other would say, I can just remove that and transfer it. Hindi yan kasali. Now, it's a gray area, but in this case, alam ko talaga po na hindi pwede tanggalin na painting. Kapag merong painting tapos merong bench sa harapan, tapos may mga ilaw na naka-focus doon sa painting. Kasi ang purpose doon is that the owner of the property will sit down there and watch it. Meron mga ganun ng mga collector ng painting, no? So, ibig sabihin, ang purpose niya sa pag-attach ng painting on that wall with all those lights na naka-focus doon, tapos may bench pa na, is that it reveals the intention to attach it there permanently. So, hindi po pwede kasama yon kukunin ng seller. Okay? So, meron pa. Ito. I have a scenario here. There is a statue of this parang, ano ba ito? Buddhist statue. So, playing question, is this movable or immovable? Is it, klaro, pwede naman siyang tanggalin dahil movable siya. Pero, does it reveals the intention that it was there, attached therein permanently? One may argue, sabihin niya, hindi, pwede tanggalin yan. The buyer would say, hindi, pag tanggalin mo yan, mawawala na ang kagandahan ng area na yan. Because I think the purpose of putting it there is it should be put there or placed there permanently. And therefore, it is an immovable property and cannot be removed. That is part of the sale transaction. Of course, yung nasa taas yung mga pictures, kita mo yung mga pictures ng family, ay pwede tanggalin kasi personal properties yan. Hindi yan immovable property. Tsaka yung mga wedding, wedding picture, painted with picture ng seller, ibigay mo na. Huwag mo na yan initan pa na iwan yan kasi kanila yung personal property. Alright? Sige. Now, ano pa? Immovable property. Meron pa. Under the civil code, no? Sabi dito yung animals and cages. So, unless meron kayong usapan nga, yung mga horses, yung pig dyan, ano pa ba yan? Yung tupa, at saka yung cow, meron pang elk yata yung sa babaw, mga pato, chicken. These are part, no, of the property because they are considered as immovable property unless there is an agreement, otherwise na hindi yan kasali. Including the cages, no? Ito, barn. Example nito, yung barn. So, hindi yan. That's part of the property. You cannot remove that if you are the seller when there's a sales transaction. Unless, nga, meron kayong usapan. Ano pa ba? Ito, maganda ito. Hidden treasure. So, what happened is that when the buyer purchased it, naging kanya ang property. Ngayon, after a month or so, nakahukay siya during excavation ng treasure. Sabi nung seller, nalaman niya, may share ako niyan. Is it correct? No. Because this time, while hindi mo pa binenta kasi noon, sa'yo yun. Pero ngayon binenta mo na, well, hindi na akong ikaw ang owner, then that is part of the ownership of this particular person who bought it by the buyer already. Kanya na yan. Hindi ka nakasali dyan. Sorry na lang, hindi ka nagkuha ng metal detector noon na tinanap mo. Now, suppose I have an example during the ocular inspection. Wala pang bayaran na, ocular inspection. Ikot ng ikot si buyer ngayon, ikot ng ikot. Meron siyang natisod na something bulky doon in some part or shallow part of the land and ano ba ito? Ugat? Sabi nung seller, ewan ko, ano yan? Ito parang matigas tingnan ko ha. Okay? Okay lang, tingnan mo. Hindi mo alam to, hindi. Tiningnan ng buyer niyan. Ganun. Sabi niya, bakit parang color yellow? Gold bars, treasures, and everything. Sabi kagad ngayon ni seller, in that case, ang swerte-swerte ko. That is mine. So, hindi ka kasali dyan kasi wala pa tayong deed of sale. Hanggang ocular inspection ka pa lang. Pero ako nakadiscover, not for me. Hindi mo yan makikita. Sabi naman ng seller, well, time will tell, baka later on makikita ko rin. Ganon. So, ano ba ang rule? Sabi po ng batas, he is entitled to one-half yung si buyer na nag-ocular inspection because he found it by chance. Ibig sabihin, by chance. Hindi yung talagang naghukay, no? Iba yun. O yung alam niya may treasure tapos hinukay niya without the knowledge of the other, hindi yun pwede. Ito, by chance, wala siyang kalam-alam, meron siyang one-half. Okay? Now, going further is that paano kung yung merong artistic or scientific value yung treasure na hukay? Well, ito lang malaman. Sa inyo pa rin yan, but the state or the government may purchase it, no? May purchase it at a just price. Kasi meron ngang artistic value that shows probably yung ano yung nangyari nung sinauna and everything. Ngayon, baka sinasabi nyo, wala namang treasure, sir. Attorney, wala namang treasure. Di yan totoo yun. Now, well, maybe you're talking about Yamashita treasure, yung nakuha ni Rojas noon na Golden Buddha, na nagkaroon pa na siya ng kaso against the former President Marcos. And actually, meron talaga yung picture ng Golden Buddha, but when it was returned to him, kasi allegedly it was taken from him and it was returned to him, bronze na. Ang sabi naman niya, no, this is pure gold. Tapos pag kunin mo yung ulong, kumpleto yan ng maraming mga diamonds and etc. No? So sabi yung ganun, yun ang argument. But parang he won there parang $13 million yata sa judgment. I'm not sure, but parang ganun. No? But is there really a Yamashita treasure? Marami pong nag-enter into treasure hunting right now. But is there really a treasure in the Philippines? And one clearly documented na nangyari na merong treasure itong Surigao artifacts. No? This was found by Berto Morales in a shallow mound in Surigao Sur, no? In 1981. Nag-excavate siya doon sa isang part ng property niya. Gamit siya ng bulldozer. May nakita siyang mga gold, no? And ang dami nung gold na yun eh. Ang iba kasi, alam mo, sometimes when we see that instead of informing the government that time, kasi panahon din niya ng martial law eh, he was really afraid. So iba pinagme-melt. Tapos yung iba binigay, merong military guy na nalaman na meron siyang gold doon is that meron yung sword na may scabbard, may lalagyan ng sword. So you gave it and everything, no? And the Bangko Sentral learned about it and tried to purchase some. The Bangko Sentral was able to get some, no? Nabayaran siya. Tapos, yung iba naman, na kuha ng private persons like the Ayalas, and actually, these things here, itong sa left side na parang bracelet, or necklace yata, yan siya na pure 24 karat gold, at saka itong sa gitna na merong it's parang vessel na may figure ng tao, 24 karat, at saka itong bowl na ito, nasa Ayala Museum, nasa Makati ngayon. Maraming nakuha din, no? Ang BSP na nabili, yung gold na belts, marami sila, meron din sa Ayala, ganun. Maraming mga other golds. But majority of the golds, ang iba, nagkaroon ng treasure hunting kasi nagtago ito si Berto Morales and he was afraid of his life. So, nakalaman ng mga tao doon, kanya-kanya treasure. Maraming nakuha na gold na pinagme-melt na. So, sayang kasi our history, hindi natin na pag yung archaeology na, hindi na pag-alam kung saan ito nanggaling na ito. Ibig sabihin kasi, it dated from the 10th to 13th centuries AD. No? Ibig sabihin, before the Spanish came in, nandyan na yan. So, ibig sabihin, bakit meron tayong ganyan? Nasa Surigao. So, basically, yung mga ninuno natin noon, meron na to silang ganito. And look at the craftsmanship and everything. It's very nice, no? So, parang trivia lang ito na kwento. But, that's true, no? If you search in Google, itong Berto Morales, makita nyo doon, meron pang parang painting doon na ano yung itsura ng mga ninuno natin noon. Kaya lang maraming nawala na mga artifacts na hindi nakuha. Sayang yun. For purposes of preserving sana and knowing the history of our ancestors before. Alright, so much with that hidden treasure, no? Masaya lang kasi i-discuss to, kaya sinama ko na trivia. Alright, and of course, meron pa tayong tinatawag na alluvium. Ano ba itong alluvium? Ito soil deposit ito. Sa katagal-tagal ng panahon ng isang river, yung current ng river slowly, gradually, habang nagkakaroon ng soil formation sa gilid. That's what we call alluvium. Yung process po, yung dandahan na yun, yung gradual na current ng river and everything, that is what we call accretion. Hindi po bigla yung pagkagising mo nandiyan na abulsion yun. What we're talking here is yung the accretion, yun yung process at yung na-deposit na soil, itong alluvium. Itong mga alluvial deposits here are actually owned by the person adjacent to that property. Yan tawag po ng person na yon, yung may-ari ng property is called the riparian owner. Riparian owner po ang tawag sa kanya. And he has the ownership rights over that property. In fact, pwede nga niyang ipatituluhan ito by applying at Senro and surveyed and magkuha siya ng pre-patent application, either agricultural or residential, depending sa classification. Pwede. Maraming mga instances yan dito na mga alluvial deposits, the process of accretion, in-applyan nila sa Senro. And nagkaroon sila ng titulo. So, having said that, kapag nakabili kayo ng ganyang property, nasa tabi ng riverbank, tapos merong alluvial deposits, na ganyan, pag binili po niyo yung property niyo, kasama po yan siya. That is part of the property that you will purchase. Okay? So, yun po, no? Next time, I'll be discussing another thing, and we'll start with the encroachments. And I will be back. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.